Okay, here we are. Wow. Man, I am feeling it right now. Feeling beat up from what all I did yesterday. Getting older is no fun. No fun at all. But we're going to have at this tonight. We are going to do that double bet, but we're going to use Michael's play at one side. Hey, Ted. I'm going to use Michael's play at one side, and I'm going to try to get it right. I had long conversations with Mike today. Hey, Mike, welcome aboard. Please give me all your critique later, Mike, not during the show. Hey, Trish. Hey, Chuck. So if I make some mistakes tonight, I'm going to try to get it right tonight because I want to run this to ground and see is it something that I actually can do in the casino and see if it is going to produce what it potentially could. Hey, JP. And so tonight I'm going to use something that's easier to do the math to as I'm trying to balance the iPhone and the iPad and my notes. So we'll use $100 units tonight. First bet is $400, and we're going to go up 4 and down 3 after the wins. We're going to do the swap out where we subtract the lower bet from the higher bet and we make the higher bet. The downside to this is if it does streak in one way or the other, and you could get lost behind, and so there's some things that we'd have to put in that I talked with Mike about today, but because I do other things with my own game that I play for us. Yeah, I got you, JP. And it does seem complicated. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got kind of a lagging beat up thing today because of hey, Joseph, I helped a friend move yesterday and everything seemed fine. And I thought I was doing really great, and because I felt really great, I kind of pressed a little bit. And then today, suddenly, I felt like I'd been run over by a truck. And so there you go. That's what happens to you. We've got $1,179,060 on the screen there. And of course, we're going to try to make $400, but we're going to make a $400 bet right off the top, or a $300 bet probably right off the top. We're going to do a no bet right here. So if it hits on the chop, we're going to be playing the chop. We got a 9 on the banker there. So here's the no bet thing here. Okay, so now we have a streak. So we are going to bet streak. And what we have now is because the streak won, the streak goes down to $100. Now we're not going to count that, but the streak goes down to $100, and since the chop is the bet now because the chop lost, the chop is going to start at $400, but we're going to subtract the 100 away, and so the opening chop bet is going to be $300, and that's the bet we're going to make. And we're going to bet a chop $300 to start with. That was a $400 bet to start with minus the $100 because the streak won and lowered it from 400 to 100 theoretically. We used it as a no bet just to get started. Yeah, I'm not 21 anymore, JP, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to bet a chop bet $300, which means we're going to bet on the player. And so there is a $300 bet. That's $400 less the 100. So we're at $300 on the chop bet. Michael will give me edit notes later on. Okay, so we win the $300. So that lowers the chop bet to 100. And the streak bet was at 100, goes up 4 units to $500. less the 100 makes it a $100 bet. So the 100 that would ordinarily be on the chop bet gets deducted from the natural bet that would be on the streak. And so we're betting the streak now, $400. It would have been five, but we deducted the 100. And the streak is to play the player. And so the player gets a $400 bet. And this is where you see it right away. So the chop would be the winner. And so the chop bet would have won, and so the chop bet would be at 500, and so now we have an $800 bet on the streak because it lost, but the $800 bet on the streak gets deducted by 500, so the bet is $300 on the streak. So we go to banker for 300. And so with the $300, it goes down to 100. Now, the other side is a $500 bet on the chop. So we deduct that $100 from the 5, and we bet a $400 chop bet, which would be on the player, $400. Oops, I missed right there and got only 300 out there, but I'm going to consider that it was 400. So the 400 goes to 800, the 100 goes to 5. So now we're going to have a $300 chop bet. And that goes, the streak goes to, so now we have a chop bet because it goes to 1,200. We got a $700 chop bet here. And I'm probably, Michael will tell me later. So we win the 700, we go down to 4. And the streak bet goes up to 8, which gives us a $400 bet on the streak, which is player streaking, making a streak bet. And so there is 1,179,745. So that is, what is that? 5 from 10 is 5, 1. $685 profit. So that's a $685 profit, even if I made a mistake, which Michael's going to help me with. Matthew did some testing on this yesterday and it passed, but the bets can get very high. They can, and also that's the danger. I have all kinds of red flags on what I'm doing here. I knew it even when I was playing on both sides of it. If you simply did, this is the dumb way to do it, and Mike would be the first one to say it. But if we started here and we simply started with $400, well, one of the reasons not to do this is if the banker does win, you still lose money because you're going to lose the commission. And so you really don't want to play it this way. But let's say we do it this way, and we got 400 on the banker and 400 on the player. So the player wins at 400, and this is to the point that Matt's talking about. And so we have a $400 win. That's on the chop side. Let me make sure of that. Oh, we had a $400 win on the streak side. Okay. So what we do now is we have a $100 bet on the streak, and we have $800 bet on the chop. So this is doing the same thing, excepting playing both sides. Ordinarily, using Mike's method, we would have a $700 bet over here on the chop, and we would have a zero bet over there on the streak. It's the same as having 800 and having 100. But we're playing the chop for $800. So we won the 100, but we lost the 800, so we go to $1,200. Let me make sure of that. Yep, that's still streaking. So we got $1,200 on a chop bet, which goes right there, and we got $100 because it's streaking. We got $100 over here. So actually, what we would have was $1,100 on the banker, and we'd have $0 on the player. Keep winning that 100. In this case, we have a $1,600 bet here and a $100 bet. This is why Michael points out why you bet the 100. Yeah, it's an excellent point. When all you're gonna do is win the 100. Oh, I'm sorry, it snuck in and won there. Okay, so we sneaked in and we won that the $1,600 bet. So then let's let's slide it down and say so since we're playing the chop for 1,300, we would play the chop for 1,300, and then we would play the bank for 400 plus 100 plus the 4 is on the streak. And so here's the chop bet for 1,300 and 500 on the other. And with one tie. Let's see if we can get something here, then I'll shut it down for tonight. And so there's where it worked out. So now we're up to 1,180,165. I actually believe that's probably, yeah, that's $500 more than we had when we were playing to one side. Matt based his test on $5 units. The highest bet was 310, chasing a $100 profit. You did get there, but you end up feeling a little silly. I understand that. So I will look at this for another day. I'm still struggling deciding whether I'm going to try it at a casino or not, because I don't like trying real money unless I feel confident. And I do know that this can rise very high. But even if at the end of the day I don't do it, I'm going to tell you, Michael really showed me some math chops, man. He really showed me some ideas, and it's expanded my understanding of mathematics anyway. To all of you who are testing this, it is easier to test working both sides, because when you start doing the math back and forth, math geniuses like Mike, he just runs right through it. But you see, I'm on the 4th day now, and I'm okay. So I'm a little beat up tonight, but I'm still on the 4th day of it, and I'm still not entirely comfortable of between player banker playing chop and playing streak and playing deduct one side from the other. Mike goes through it pretty easily. I don't go through it that easily. But if it proved that it would win all the time and not get to such high numbers, I would still be looking at it. But we have other ways of doing things, so we're going to keep going. And I appreciate you all very much. Shut it down at 9:12, because by 9:30 I am going to be done for the night. And we'll try to see, can't we greet tomorrow feeling a little better, and I won't be doing any more household goods moving for a while. So thank you to all of you, and God bless you always and keep you. And I will be seeing you tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. It is a lot to keep up with, Chuck, but some guys can do it, but it's and Gil's weighing in, and Trish, thank you. Good night, Trish. And Yeah, it's a little bit of a mental exercise, but I've had so much fun, and I appreciate Michael so much because I do look at math better in a different way, a more expanded way now because of this. So thank you to all of us, all of you, and Michael, send me some notes for overnight so I can look at them tomorrow morning when I get up and going. And to all of you, good night from the kingdom.